Ambassador Eth stood before the massive holographic display in the Grand Council chamber. His 4 eyes studied the glowing map of the known galaxy. Billions of stars, thousands of civilizations, trade routes stretching across light years, and then there was the void. A dark section on the edge of the map. No data, no signals, no information at all. The Galactic Union had mapped every corner of the universe for 10,000 years. They had every species, every planet, every moon. But this section remained empty. The elder races called it the dead zone. The younger species called it the black edge. But everyone knew its true name. Human space. Tell me again, Eth said to his aide, a young named Sella. What happened to the fleet? Sella's translucent form flickered with nervous energy. The same thing that happened to all the others, Ambassador. They crossed the boundary 3 cycles ago. We received their last transmission 2 days later. Then nothing. Eth's massive jaw tightened. They were not weak creatures. They had conquered 12 systems before joining the Union. Their warships were among the finest in the galaxy. They had sent 50 vessels into human space. Not one returned. And the expedition before them, he asked. Gone 80 research vessels, 200 scientists, all lost. The invasion force. 300 warships, 40,000 soldiers, disappeared without a trace. Eth turned away from the map. The silence in the chamber was heavy. Every species in the Union had lost something to the void: ships, explorers, armies. The humans took them all. No one knew what the humans looked like. No one knew how they fought. No one knew what they wanted. The only thing everyone knew was simple: those who entered human space never came back. The ambassador walked to his private quarters. His mind was troubled. The High Council had given him a mission. He was to establish first contact with the humans. He was to bring them into the Galactic Union, or find out why they destroyed everyone who came near. His ship, the Eternal Promise, waited in orbit. It was the largest diplomatic vessel in the Union fleet. It carried no weapons. Its hull was painted in the colors of peace. It broadcast messages of friendship in every known language. Eth hoped it would be enough. 3 days later, the Eternal Promise crossed into human space. The transition was immediate. All external sensors went dark. The star maps became useless. Even the background radiation of the universe seemed different here. Darker, quieter, as if the cosmos itself was holding its breath. Navigation is offline, reported the ship's pilot. We are flying blind. Communication systems are also down, added the communications officer. No signals going in or out. Eth remained calm. He had expected this. The humans were isolating them, cutting them off from the rest of the galaxy. It was a standard defensive measure, nothing to worry about. Then the lights went out. Emergency power kicked in moments later. Red warning lights filled the command deck. The crew moved with trained precision. They had prepared for every possible scenario. Except the one that came next. A voice spoke through the ship's speakers. It was not transmitted. It was not broadcast. It simply appeared as if someone was standing right beside them. You have entered restricted space. State your purpose. The language was perfect, not translated, not synthesized. The speaker knew their language naturally. This should have been impossible. The Union had never made contact with humans. There was no way they could have learned. Eth stepped forward. I am Ambassador Eth of the Galactic Union. I come in peace. I seek to establish communication between our peoples. Silence. Then the voice returned. You are not the first to claim peace. Many have spoken those words. Their ships now drift in the darkness between our stars. A chill ran through the command deck. The ambassador's crew exchanged worried glances, but Eth pressed on. We are different. We do not come to conquer or study. We come only to understand. The galaxy knows nothing of your people. We wish to change that. Another pause, longer this time. Understanding requires trust. Trust requires proof. You will follow the signal to our home world. There you will learn why the galaxy fears us, and you will understand why we remain alone. A single light appeared on their navigation screen, a beacon, a guide through the darkness. The journey took 12 days of silence, 12 days of darkness. The crew grew restless. Some began to whisper about turning back, but there was no turning back. The path behind them had closed. On the 13th day, they arrived. The human home world hung in space like a jewel of blue and green. Clouds swirled across its surface. Lights sparkled on the night side. It was beautiful, more beautiful than any world Eth had ever seen. But it was what surrounded the planet that stole his breath. Ships, thousands of them, millions. They filled the space around the world like a second atmosphere. Warships, carriers, destroyers, vessels of every size and design. The combined fleet was larger than the entire military force of the Galactic Union. "Impossible," whispered Sela. "No species could build so many ships." The voice returned. "Ambassador, welcome to Earth. A shuttle will guide you to the surface. You will have the answers you seek." The shuttle landed in a vast open plaza. Buildings of glass and metal rose toward the sky. Creatures walked the streets. They were smaller than Ed had expected. 2 arms, 2 legs, soft skin, no claws, no armor, no visible weapons. These were the beings that had destroyed invasion fleets. These were the monsters that made the galaxy tremble. A single human approached the shuttle. It was female. Her hair was silver with age. Her eyes were sharp with intelligence. She walked slowly but with purpose. "Ambassador Eth," she said, "I am Director. I will answer your questions." They walked through the city. Eth saw humans everywhere, working, playing, living. They seemed so ordinary, so fragile, he did not understand. "Director," he said finally, "your people have destroyed thousands of vessels, hundreds of thousands of lives. Why?" Director stopped walking. She turned to face him. Her expression was sad, not angry, not proud, sad. "We did not destroy them," she said quietly. "They destroyed themselves." She led him to a building at the center of the city. Inside was a vast chamber filled with holographic displays. Each display showed a different fleet. Dozens of others, ships frozen in time. "Every species that entered our space came with the same intention," Director explained. "Conquest, control, domination. They saw our world, they saw our resources, they decided to take what was ours." She waved her hand. The displays shifted. Now they showed battles, massive fleets attacking human vessels, missiles flying, energy weapons firing. "We defended ourselves. We had no choice, but we did not seek to destroy them. We gave every fleet the same offer. Leave in peace. Return to your own space. Take nothing that is not yours." "They refused," Eth said softly. "Every single one. They believed we were weak. They saw our small bodies, our soft skin. They thought we would be easy prey." The displays changed again. Now they showed human ships moving with impossible speed, weapons that erased enemy vessels from existence, tactics that predicted every enemy move before it happened. "Humans learned something long ago," Director continued. "We learned that survival is not about strength. It is about adaptation. Every enemy that attacked us made us stronger. Every weapon used against us was studied and improved. Every strategy was analyzed and countered." She looked at the ambassador with eyes that held centuries of pain. "The galaxy sent its warriors to destroy us. We simply became better warriors. The galaxy sent its scientists to understand us. We simply became better scientists. We adapted. We evolved. We survived." Eth understood now. The humans were not monsters. They were survivors. They had been pushed into a corner by a hostile universe, and they had pushed back. "Why do you hide?" he asked. "With your power you could rule the galaxy." Director shook her head. "We do not want to rule. We want to be left alone. We want to build, to create, to live in peace, but the galaxy will not allow it, so we hide. We stay behind our borders, we warn those who approach. And when they do not listen, then we do what we must. We eliminate the threat, and we wait for the next one. The ambassador was silent for a long moment. His mission was to bring the humans into the Galactic Union. Now he realized how foolish that goal had been. The humans did not need the Union. The humans did not need anyone. "What will you do with us?" he asked. Director smiled. It was a gentle smile, a tired smile. "You came in a ship of peace. You carried no weapons. You asked questions instead of making demands. You are the first to do so in 1,000 years." She extended her hand, a gesture of greeting, of friendship. "You will be returned to the border. You will carry a message to your union. Tell them the truth. Tell them we desire only peace. Tell them to leave us alone. And tell them what happens to those who refuse." 3 days later, the Eternal Promise emerged from human space. Its sensors came back online. Its communications returned. Ambassador Eth stood on the command deck and looked back at the void. The dark section on the galactic map. He understood now why it remained empty. It was not ignorance. It was not technical failure. It was a warning. The humans were not hiding because they were weak. They were hiding to protect the galaxy from themselves. They knew what they were capable of. They knew what they would become if pushed too far. The map ends at human space. Not because no one could chart it, but because the humans chose to remain unknown. They chose to be the darkness at the edge of the galaxy, the mystery that made empires tremble. Those who entered never returned. Not because they were killed, but because they attacked creatures who had mastered the art of survival, creatures who turned every threat into strength, creatures who were gentle by choice but deadly by necessity. Ambassador Eth returned to the Grand Council. He delivered his message. He told them the truth. And the Galactic Union never sent another ship into the void. The map remained empty, and humanity remained at peace, waiting, watching, ready. Should the galaxy ever forget the lesson, they would remember again.